Test, test, test. Good.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Bo, how are you?
Good, good.
Daryl, I made it so you could share your screen. Before Daryl begins, I just want to welcome everyone to another day of live trading with Daryl Morse. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. If you haven't seen it already, you're in for a surprise, and if you've seen it already, then you know what you can expect here. So I want to turn it over to him because I'm sure he wants to talk a little bit about what's going on in the pre-market, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you have any questions afterwards, feel free to text me, email me, and I'd be glad to share my experience with you. Daryl, I'm going to turn it over to you, buddy.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning. So just kind of a little background, doing a little live trading here with the limitless volume. And, markets, what we're trying to do is just, we can, the market, we look at the market here and we look at the SPY and we look at the Qs. We're kind of flat right now. So there's not really any advantage both sides. So we're kind of neutral. Got a little news out there about that natural gas in Europe. This Germany going to have to deal with Putin, and so there's a little nervous tension out there. And in the news with stocks, Netflix didn't lose as many subscribers, so I thought that was kind of funny. They lost 970,000, so stock pops a little bit. It's kind of retraced back a little bit. What we do here is we live trade, and we have an interactive group that works together. I'm not going to sit here and go through a bunch of philosophy about trading. It's just a really good community to be with, and it's you're creating freedom, and I asked myself when I did this, can I do this? Can I do it consistently? So you always looked at things like, can somebody do this in front of me? And I look at risk. Well, not necessarily how much money am I going to make, but how much capital am I going to have to put up to make a trade? Can I do it consistently? Do I feel comfortable to take the trade? And do I want to swing the bat? So I'm going to leave it right there. Maybe see if Bo has some stuff to say. He's a really seasoned trader. He's been with us for about 3 years. Has just took off with this whole thing, and he probably loves this more as much as I do. So I'm going to introduce you to Bo.
Hey, Daryl. Good morning, and good morning, traders, and good morning, Chiros. Glad to have all you guys here this morning. And I'm a Chiro myself, and I, they have a saying in chiropractic: you have volume practitioners and you have old practitioners, but there are no old volume practitioners. And I was one of those guys. I was starting to get older and looking at what I wanted to do next, and I knew that the market always was something that appealed to me. But I found it, quite honestly, to be very intimidating. And it was something I had no knowledge in, no background in. And, you can always, buy my book, read my book, do one of those courses. And I looked at a couple of those, and, you learn a little bit of information enough to be dangerous. But there's a lot to be known. And when, I really started to analyze things well, the thing that sold me was this: as I looked at others that had, self-acclaim and apparent knowledge or supposed knowledge, the real test was, could they test live? Could they trade live in front of you, rather? And if they could trade live and almost precognitively call out, trades and what the market was going to do before it happened, I knew then I had someone that understood the market and understood, what was happening. And I knew that I had someone that was a mentor. So, when I first got involved in this, I heard that there was a guy that would, quite honestly, take $30,000 and in 90 days turn $30,000 into $1 million, and then turn around and, reinvest it in other things and start back over with 30,000. And I thought, okay, this is a guy I have to know, a guy I'd love to meet. So I got introduced to Daryl, and that was been about 4 years ago, and found that he was very personable. Found out he was someone I could actually connect with, and actually even reach on the phone then, and maybe even now. And he became a friend and taught me pretty much everything I know about day trading, and specifically options. And it's been a wild ride. And this is something where, go figure, what's it take to change your life? $1,000 a week is, $250,000 a year. $4,000 a day ends up being, $1 million a year. What's it take for you to be happy? These are all numbers that are achievable. And ask me how I know. I know because I've done it. And so this is something that, if you find it intimidating, especially if you're watching this morning and you're seeing, wow, there's these charts and understanding candlesticks, and I don't have any knowledge of this. That's not a disadvantage, guys. That's an advantage, because no one has to come back in and correct your bad habits and your lack of knowledge. You learn it right from the start by learning from somebody that's in the room, leading the room day in, day out, and you get a chance to follow his trades. And so, it just couldn't be any better. So we have a great community of traders in the room, and people that are learning and coming on board. And some of those are, literally, 18, 19, 20-year-olds that just want to learn it and have. And some of those are seasoned, docs that are no longer in practice, and some are trading part-time. They're here 30 minutes or 15 minutes in the morning. They get the best hours of trading in, and then they're done for the rest of the day. So it really has the ability for you to almost start a second career by learning to trade. And then if you're looking at retiring, getting out of practice, down the road, when you do, you have the ability to be able to step right into something that you've been doing all along and look at trading full time. So, we feel like the best time to trade is, right at the morning pop at 9:30 when the market opens. And then there's other times of day. So if you become a full-time trader, you're no longer practicing. You've got, the 1 o'clock pop, 3:30, 3 o'clock, towards the end of the day. And then there's all kinds of other things that, Daryl can help you with, such as learning how to swing trade, learning how to do long-term options. There's a lot that can be learned with Limitless Volume. And I'm just very thankful for being able to sit underneath his tutelage, and I've learned a lot from him. And I don't know what else I can say other than it's been a phenomenal ride, and it's given me a passion and a knowledge to be able to know that no matter what kind of economy or what kind of frivolous leader we have at the time or a regime we're under, you're able to trade the markets and make a living. So that's what Limitless Volume's given me. That's what Daryl's given me. And I think you'll see today, it'll be very educational and hopefully a lot of fun watching us trade this morning.
Thanks, Bo. Appreciate that. So we're going to look at the market really quick, and we're going to see what kind of action we have going on. Meta is kind of interesting. It was Facebook. Well, here's Tesla here, and you can kind of see the daily chart. We're kind of neutral. There's been stuff going on with Twitter, and the judge expect a case versus Elon Musk. They just said it, October trial. So, whenever you get news like that first he's supposed to pay $1 billion because of pulling out, but then they could do a kind of thing where he has to push him back into like the Tyson versus the big chicken giant of the world. They made them buy this other company. So there's this little thing going on with that, and this could really make price aversion back and forth with Tesla going on. So you got Tesla's earnings coming up too. So there's a lot of action going to happen with Tesla. So right now we got a hammer sitting here. We're kind of neutral. We're up about $2. Resistance on the daily is 750 and then 757 if it decides to go this way, or do we stay in some chop and come back down and visit the 712? Bo and I in the room yesterday traded Tesla all the way down with puts, and we traded this baby all the way down from this nice hammer down into this section yesterday. Here you got this nice, as if you're looking at patterns, this is called Morning Star, and this came right off resistance. You have this nice move back up, and then we're talking about that 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock movement with a lot of volume that came in. So you see some of these patterns that pop in. As of right now, we're pretty neutral with the Qs and SPY. We're right kind of glued to the close of the previous day. So what do we got? A few minutes here. We got 7. So I like to just kind of see if we hold the previous close of the day on a lot of these stocks. I just like to put this yellow line as a kind of a barometer of where the close is. And you kind of see we're right here in this area, the 736. So we've had a little bit of movement in the pre-market upward, but nothing major. So I'm looking at Tesla. I'm also looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA has a nice daily chart also. If you look over here, let's just go. So we got a breakout here, and you can kind of see yesterday was kind of cool, kind of broke out, nice strong $9 move. Resistance was 71. We kind of test into the 70, 73, 71. So can we continue from the 69 up? It's down about 50 cents. So that still looks pretty strong and bullish. There's in the news about Pelosi and her husband, and she knows nothing about it. You know how this goes, one side or the other. He invested a bunch of money, and you got Congress, voting on this chip bill. So it's kind of cool to know about it. Doesn't necessarily mean we trade it because of that, but the activity that the world seems to really like the situation about the chip sector. And you see down here, we got 70 million plus shares trading last 2 days. So that's kind of, there's some attention on this. Okay. So I kind of like that 70 million. We don't need to, we just need a fraction, small little, 5 contracts could change your life and make a bunch of money. Now you had 5 contracts, so that's 500, 9 times 500. That's pretty good money. Let's say you had 10. These are only costing like $5. So it's going to go $5 to $7. We can get into all that later. And we have the course is all taught on Zoom, and I do it live for you. Live classes, you can do it anywhere in the world. So it's kind of cool. You don't have to go to some little place and they funnel you with a bunch of information all weekend. Then you leave and you're like, what did I just learn? What's going on? How we're continuously interactive trading room. You can see live. No one does this. No one. Well, I don't know anybody that does this. All right. So what do you guys think out there? There you go. How do you like this Tesla?
I'm definitely looking at Tesla today, and the difference in yesterday, Daryl, is Tesla's got volume. We've got 967,000 shares traded today, and yesterday was like 300,000 when the market opened, and so it was definitely low volume. I think favors puts, but we're not going to have a lot of advantage. The futures are down, so we could have a pop. And since it has earnings into the day, it may not look like yesterday, but it's not looking really strong right now. So maybe we'll end up being range bound,
Right. So we just don't really have an advantage. We're kind of glued to these MAs right now. And you see there's no air in between these. This is this sideways. So we want some kind of movement from both sides. We don't have that right now. So this is a flip of a coin. I like to see if this holds the close of the previous day. If this holds at 736, I'll take calls. If this doesn't, because usually what happens if it breaks down through here and you see these MAs are just moving averages. This is 11, this is a 21, and this is a 50. This is just measuring candles back. So it's kind of like training wheels. I don't necessarily say if they break, you go in. It just depends on the whole market. So I want to know what the close of the previous day is. And it's kind of important to just kind of take a look at a chart that's a little bigger, and you can put it out a little bit. So take a look at the Tesla on the 15-minute. Well, I can look at 5 days. And then I'm not really guessing. I kind of see support and resistance. Where could this baby go? I mean, the resistance is into the 48.50. And then if we come down, yesterday we tested into the 716. So, or 712. So we got into these lower channels, almost 710. And you see, this is kind of, if you just looked at the 15-minute, you kind of see these high-low close where these lines are in, are right there where it had the resistance to the left. So this kind of helping you, giving you some kind of basis on support and resistance. This isn't all, we're not guessing. And a lot of people, a lot of times just look at a straight screen, a 10-minute screen, and all I do is trade the candle. I like it a little more advantage than that. All right. So I got calls loaded in Tesla and puts loaded in Tesla. I got calls loaded in the video. And maybe we'll just see, can we hold the close of the previous day? Yes or no? So I'm going to just leave it right there unless someone else has something to bring up. And we got about 3 minutes. And it's nice. The TradeStation has a nice option chain here. It's pretty simple. You know, you go through the strikes. We teach this whole thing, you know, I mean, here's the delta. It's pretty simple trading with this. I like TradeStation just because it's easy to use the matrix. A lot of people don't like the matrix. No, I don't even know. I mean, I love the matrix. You can put your orders in and put your stops in. So I probably shouldn't have said a lot of people don't like the matrix. I shouldn't have said that. That's not correct.
Hey, Daryl.
Yes.
So I know we're about to open in about 3 minutes or so, but I appreciate, Bo, you sharing your story about trading, and I just wanted to throw something in there real quick, kind of a different perspective. I'm 62 years old. My son's 19. He didn't want to go to college. Didn't have anything particular he wanted to study, and I wasn't just going to send him to college just for the sake of sending him to college. He started doing this back in January with me. And he's now at a point where I feel comfortable that for the rest of his life, he'll always have a way to earn money. You know, there's another perspective. It's not only about me and retiring and doing this in my retirement age, but it's also about my son being 19 years old and getting, you know, a jump start on life. And this allows him to basically live wherever he wants to live and do whatever he wants to do because he's pretty much done every day by 11 o'clock. So just wanted to share that real quick.
Appreciate that. Thank you. So I'm looking at Tesla calls right now. Market's going to open in a minute here. So here we go. We got like, I don't know, 15 seconds for the market opens. We'll kind of see if we still move up or what we're doing. We're holding the close. We're up by $4. Qs look like they want to take off. SPY looks like they want to take off. So see what happens here. So still holding the close. Looks like we're going to pop up here. Qs are coming down a little bit though. But Tesla's taken off, so I'm in these calls upward.
Yeah, I grab them with you, Daryl. 7:45 breaks and we're gone. Especially if we see a hammer on the Qs break above the stack here.
So you gotta, yeah, this is
Amazon's popping here too. Qs are trying to form a hammer here. There we go.
so this kind of gives you an idea. I'm up $1,000 already. So kind of see that live trade there. So the thing's rolling. So just letting it go. So I'm up $1,000. And I'm up 1,500. I'm up 2,500. So it's rolling and we're moving, you know?
Gonna double top here soon.
Yeah, so 750 is probably where we're gonna sell half. Up 2,100. So that's a quick little $2,000 trade. Still in it, moving it up, you know, because the Qs look like they want to explode, you know. So there's another $1,000 up again. So, you know, we're just trading the candle upward. So if you could see my matrix, you would see it up another $1,500. Again, I'm just taking this candle up.
Nice hammer on the Qs there.
So you got this nice $1,700 right there. Okay. So there's 1,800, there's 2,700. So the thing's rocking, you know. That green I showed you is real live money going up, you know. So you know, it's continuously upward. We could stay on this trade. I'm just closing this out for 2,500 for myself. That's enough for me right now. We could sell half and let it keep going, but you know, this is big money, you know. Not bad for just having a few, you know, what do we win? Like 5 minutes and I'm already up. You know, I'm up $4,800. Not too bad, right?
I'm setting a 748 stop, staying in this, Daryl.
Oh, so sweet. So I like taking, when the candles are parabolic like this, they usually like to come down off the high resistance of the 750. So I just captured that money. I don't want to retrace more than back, you know, $700-800. So I'll take that. I'll get back in if it breaks up through the 750 and take this trade again. but my P&L shows $4,800. That's pretty nice. In 5 minutes. And this happens every single day. And yesterday we did the puts. So it's a different kind of situation.
Hey, Daryl, we had a question real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, how much did the position cost you to make that much money?
Okay, so I bought 7 contracts and I purchased them at right here at $2,100. So 2,100 times 7. So you're putting, you know, if 10 would be 20, you know, so you're just putting, so it's $2,100 per contract. So whatever, how many you take, that's what you're risking, but I'm only risking I like a $2.50 stop. So it's kind of nice. This reward, sweet reward for risking maybe if I lost maybe $500-600 if I had a stop. So it's kind of cool, you know. Does that help you with the one contract? If you're getting it at that price, what it costs you cut? This is still looking really bullish. We're holding half the candle up and the Qs look pretty powerful. Amazon's running, Tesla's running. I mean, once this breaks the 750, like we talked about on the daily, you know, where's this go? I mean, here's the 750. This could go to 757 right here. Okay, so that's kind of cool to watch that.
I'm taking NVIDIA up here too.
Oh, nice. You got a nice hammer there. You know, you were going to grab this stock again and you have to sell your stop about 747. I don't usually grab these. I wait for a pullback and an upward move. But it's holding a really strong candle up on the Qs. Super, super strong. You know, I'm pretty just consistent and very disciplined. I look at the money and $4,800 in 5 minutes. I kind of want to enjoy that. I don't want to give all this money back. It comes all the way back down to the 745 real quick, because this is showing some selling tails. And you see I got the volume chart over here. And it's having some problems with the 750. If it blows through the 750 up, well, then we take it. But this is more like gambling. And this is what usually happens. You grab it and then you get slapped. You see what I mean, right? So that really isn't a pattern for me. So I kind of wait a little bit. Does that make sense? Always protecting the profit. Never let 50% of that go back. Never let it go through the close. I mean, we're just, you know, what they call it, the thesis drift. You guys are familiar with that? It's basically that when data changes, your brain changes and you make a different decision. You don't have to be right and you don't have to take it personal. You know, financial institutions do this all the time and they make a bunch of stuff up while they're sticking in a trade. If the data changes, you need to change. So that makes sense. Okay. Thesis drift is really something that you really want to look at before you start trading, because it basically tells you about your brain and why you feel 3 times worse when you lose $10,000 than you do when you make $10,000. So I'm thinking about puts right now, guys. You see how we got the inverted hammer down? With this, if this breaks downward and closes into the close of the previous day, then I'm going to take puts. And we're going to ride this baby all the way back down. But I'm going to wait here. Okay. I'm going to wait because this could be a moving average pullback to an upward move. So we got 2 patterns here. So what's more likely? It's probably more likely that we do a moving average pullback and an upward move. But if it breaks down through and doesn't hold the high candle here on the Qs, then that makes sense to me that go the other way. But this looks like a pullback into an upward move. So I won't take those puts. You see, I'm looking at these hard candles and now we're moving upward. So it makes more sense that we go up. So I want it to be logical, that I can do this over and over and not just be a guess. So I'm going to wait a little bit because the volume isn't there right now. You see, I'm looking at this volume chart. Unless someone else thinks we should take it long, I'll go with you. It looks like it wants to explode, doesn't it? Your stop would have to be right around 7:45 here, all right? I like to put my red line in there just to show if I took this trade where my stop would be. And then I like to put this in just to give myself a bellwether of what's going on, you know?
Yeah, still looking strong here, Daryl. It's just
Yeah, it
slow.
still looks really good.
NVIDIA is making money for Eric. It's a good morning. Our entire watch list is up.
So you have a NVIDIA stock also. Now you can see the hammer and then the movement upward. Nice trade upward. So he's super green in this.
That's a good trade.
And he's probably taken some profit already. But you know, this here to here, he's probably made $800, $900 from here. If he had 5 contracts, he made $500. So he's already up $1 something from the entry. Because when he said it, I put the line in at 169.94. So that's pretty nice, you know, just in measuring that point in time. Okay. You just got to make this stupid simple. Really, you can't make this really, really super hard. And you just look at support and resistance and what's your risk, you know?
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off what Guy said earlier about his son being 19, I'm kind of in the same boat where I'm pretty young. I'm only 23 doing this, but I never went to college. This is what I did right out of high school. And so if you got, you know, anyone who's in that young age who wants to potentially pursue this and isn't excited about anything they teach in college classes, this is a great way to go.
Still thinking calls here, Daryl.
I'm thinking puts.
Yeah, me too, with a 748 stop. Here we go.
Just because got a little bit of a pullback. We'll see if this can hold highs. You know, 750 is a lot of resistance. The Qs look like they want to come back down. They're holding, but they got a bunch of selling tails here. So this could easily relax all the way back down and below through the 744. You know, if you were going to reverse these, because now if we're in puts, then your line is this direction and your stop is top here. Okay.
Vol spread is fairly level with green and the VIX is just kind of sideways. So
But the Q's trying to run up here, but they're going to slam back down probably. You know, the SPY is already turning over. So we may retest a little bit into the 745 first, you know, downward. You kind of see this kind of relaxing down, the volume chart coming down here. So we're kind of breaking down a little bit.
Hey, Guy, are you still in here?
Eric, I'm here.
Is there an ability for me to like, I don't have access to type in chat for like everyone. I want to put a link in for our website.
Do you see where it says two? There should be a drop down there where you can drop
Yeah,
down and choose everyone.
Host panelist.
You're what? I'm sorry.
It only gives me hosts and panelists. I can't chat to everyone.
Let me just see something here. I'm gonna make you the host, and you should be able to now.
Okay.
Try that now.
Yeah, now it's everyone. Cool. Sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the chat for everyone. But if you want to come check us out, our website's www.limitlessvolume.com.
Using SPY firing off, so breaking through that 748.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some resistance here. Let's see what it does, you know. The 750 is really a lot of resistance. And we're barely making it to the top here with these wicks and candles. So see how far this pops and then slides back down, you know.
Definitely not making higher highs yet.
No.
Got a morning star forming on Netflix on the 10-minute, by the way. Big wicks, big tails. You know, one of the things traders always ask is, you know, how often do you win versus lose? And it really is more of an issue of, you know, how often are you green, you know, meaning having green days versus red days. And it's really, it's not even days, it's weeks. And I mean, Daryl, you're on how many straight weeks of being green now?
I'm about 5 years now.
So, I mean,
I do lose some trades, but at the end of the week, I'm up pretty substantial, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, Tesla's just struggling up. It looks like it wants to retrace back downward, even though the Qs are super strong. Tesla's not really following. It's kind of moving up a little bit. There's a lot of selling tails here, you know?
Amazon's blowing up here though.
You know, this, you know, we just trade the pattern. So it looks like an inverted hammer here, you know?
Here we go again with Tesla. It looks like it's going to pull back here. Could easily test the 741 here.
So this is a $2,500 trade right here. I could show you on the screen, but you get the gist. Oh, here we go. There's 2,100. Okay. So it's 2,100. It's good money.
So testing the 741 there again.
So not a bad morning, you know. Yeah,
No.
already taken my profit. It got to the 2,100, had 7 contracts again. I like to protect my money. So this came all the way down and hit into the 740. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to continue, but here we go again. I'm not going to let $400 or $500 go from my profit. That's just how I trade. Super conservative. I don't need to get the fat. I don't need to get the high, very low. I want to get the middle. And that's how I trade. And, it's, you know, it's kind of conservative. So, but
Pigs get slaughtered, right?
yeah. But you can see that we were in these puts and it looked kind of weak. And you could see the volume chart over here. And these volume charts are really powerful because you're not really going to be able to see this red. Okay, but what is it doing per candle? We'll explain all this. this is a moment in time that you can measure. So we got this 748 and I was in right there about 746 and I captured all that money and I sold at 742. So you see, I didn't let all that profit go back. You know, this is just something you can look at versus this also. And this is all taught in the room. So, yeah, I mean, so we're not even half hour into the market and I'm pretty much done. You know, this could easily pull back and go upward now because you see the cues extending. But I'm not going to place another trade right now. I think I'm pretty much done. That's 3 trades. And I'm 100% all 3 of those babies. You can see NVIDIA is still going up in Amazon. So, you know, we got things we look at, other things that help us trade. Not just this screen, but things. Here's a cool screen to look at. And you can kind of see, we got this dollar tick and we'll explain to you, this is the barometer of the market. You can kind of get an idea of what the market's doing overall advantage. Then you got the vol spread where this is measuring the volume of the overall market in the SPY. You got the VIX, which is the fear indicator, which is going down, which is inversely proportional. Means stocks are probably going up. You got the Qs laddering up. You got the Russell and the Dow's kind of flat. So, you know,
An evening star now on Tesla.
what were you saying, Bo?
I said we have an evening star forming on Tesla on the 10-minute, but we've still got the rest of our stocks in our group.
And you got a little bit of selling tails on the Qs too. So,
Yeah,
you know,
SPY breaking through that high of yesterday.
so there's the star here and your stop could be here. So there is another trade in this deal. I'm not going to take it, but it's there, you know.
Mhm.
I'm pretty satisfied with the cash I got in my account, but this is actually a nice trade down if you got it, you know. Well, that's nice.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, there's money right there. So there's a lot of trades that you can take. You see the inverted hammer coming up on the Qs over here, and you see the volume chart breaking through that. So we're just trading what the candles are doing. We don't have a bias, and so now we're into the almost into the close. So this would have been a nice trade. You're probably in and aren't you, Bo?
I was, but I got out. I feel like it's going to be a little choppy, but this may actually drop pretty hard like it did yesterday based on the cues and the SPY now.
You know, and we're dealing with some things when Tesla's earnings are here, the options are a little more expensive just because the premium is built in. So, you know, you're looking at that also. NVIDIA, you don't have to worry about, and Amazon. So you're paying a little more money for these. Usually these options are about 16, but they're 21 to 22. So Bo's being super conservative, and so am I. And why wouldn't you be? It's your money. Take care of it, you know, take care of that profit. So that's pretty much what I have for today. And we can continuously have some questions if you guys have some. This would be a good time to have some questions. If you have any, open it up for the forum.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone sends them in here, but I don't see any at the moment.
I mean, this looks like you could still grab some puts. You're going to go into the close of yesterday and it's still coming down. So want to be aggressive and I want to trade this into the close of the previous day and take myself another $3 or $4. I could. My stop would have to be halfway into that. It's just not my trade. I'd rather get it in where my stop has to be really, really small because I have to measure from here to here. So if I miss this, I don't really want to chase it because I don't want the fear of missing out. Like, oh, I missed this. There'll be plenty more. There'll be plenty more. There's no reason to chase something, if that makes sense. Okay. But if you did take this, your stop would have to be somewhere, you know, in this area. but you see it's plummeting down. See how it goes.
I got puts in Amazon and my stops at the top of the 10-minute candle. And I'm
Oh, nice. Very
playing
nice.
conservative, gets got 12 contracts.
I got a question for how do you figure out which stock you want to trade?
You know, I kind of look at volume and I want to see how it's looking on the daily chart, a bullish or bearish, but I want it to trade, you know, a few million shares a day. That way I don't have to worry about getting in and out of the trade. So, you know, I stick with a few of them, you know, like Facebook and NVIDIA, because I don't never have to really worry about, is there size in that? And I want the pattern in ATR, look at the ATR. And the ATR is the average true range of the stock in a day. And I'd like for it to move, you know, at least more than $4 or $5 a day, if that makes sense. Because, you know, I'm trying to capture $3 to $4 on these stocks. Just so happens Tesla is on deck, is on board today, because it's just a lot of news and you're going to get a lot of price action movement on this, you know. Yeah, your Amazon's working quite nicely. So
Tesla looks like yesterday, Daryl.
yeah, this, you know, we captured the meat of this downward, and I got 2,800 on this. But there's still more, there's still some more meat on the bone, which is great. So that just shows you we're in the right direction of these moves. Okay. So it's kind of interesting. You see, I'm using a 10-minute. I can't trade on a 1-minute chart. There's no way in hell. It just moves too quick. And you can't, you're looking at numbers. You're not looking at, you know, a pattern is not a pattern. If somebody tells you that, I never heard that. That don't make any sense. Where's the pattern at in the pattern? You know, like within the support and resistance. Okay. So we're right at the moving averages here. We're still positive, but we're starting to break down here with the Qs. So that's negative. SPY, the Dow never turned green. So we could easily break through the close here on the Qs, and that would be negative, but we're still at 46 cents. So it's pretty neutral, but it looks like we're moving in this direction downward. 34 is huge support on Tesla. So if it's going to bounce up, it's going to bounce up around here. And we'll see what this next candle does in 2 minutes. But this could capitulate here, right here. But the reason I know that, because I'm looking over here at the 15-minute. I'm not guessing. It's right here. It's telling me all I need to know right here. This was resistance. This is, see how this is support, the high, and then the open. And you see 34 is like right there, right in, right. Like you see how this tail hit in between here to here. So you got 31, 34 as resistance. Where is it at right now? It's right there. So we'll see where this goes. Okay. So I'm not really guessing. So it's going to capitulate right here, and you're probably going to have a little volume spike right where we kind of talked about. So I'd probably get out of my puts right there, just because that's a long and gated candle. You know, from here to here, from 745 to 733, you got $12. So you're starting to see a capitulation. You kind of see it on the volume chart. So it's really cool to have this. A lot of people don't use this. It's been around for years. I didn't invent this stuff. I just put it in together. And you know, you got your sediment breaking down on your tick, but isn't real far. There isn't a lot of divergence right there. There's a really tight channel. You know, we're not really given this huge long move up and down. So the market's pretty neutral right now. So I think this pops a little bit, just because we're so neutral and we don't really have a divergence off this tick. And I'll explain this later. Usually there's this long move down to the 1,000 or up to the 500, but you see how we're really tightly ranged and we're really close to these MAs. And you can kind of tell the market doesn't have any divergence on these MAs. Super important to know when to trade and when not to. There's no air in between there. So this is like a flip of a coin trade, if that makes sense. You have there's no divergence on the 21, 50, and the 11. So these aren't trades for me. This is not something I do. You know, but it looks, we could flip a coin on which way it's going to go. But I just showed you where support was on Tesla. So that's why I would say we would get out there. We may just do this little pop and then come back down, or it could run all the way back up to 739. That's the possibilities. But if this breaks downward, these Qs, then this is going to break down into 729. But even this is not my trade. This is a lot of guesswork. Okay. You know what I mean? You're just guessing. Why do that? So I'm pretty much done. I'm done for the day. Made no money. No
You know,
sense of it.
Daryl, what's great though is you can take the higher probability trades, and then, once you've made money for the day, you can decide, do you want to take a more speculative trade? And now you're trading with the bank's money, not your money. You've already made money for the day. So that's what's great about, about having a trading plan and following the trading plan. And that's one of the things that's critical, is it's got to be a constant, that you do day in, day out. And that's how you get into a situation where you're taking something as variable as the market is, by having constants in place in your trading plan. That's how you stay positive, how you stay green.
It's awesome. It's a good point,
I think one of the hardest things to learn about day trading is just to be mechanical and level and calm, and the psychology of trading, and not letting yourself get emotional. And that's one of the things that we've worked on a lot, talked about a lot too. Just Tesla's breaking here and to make lower lows. I would normally be in this, but on earnings day, I just kind of think we could, not as confident in its move.
Yeah, this could easily spring load back up,
Yeah. This thing could easily do 725 here.
The Qs look like they want to take back off here up,
Yeah, that's why it's just got mixed signals, so I'm not taking that trade. Qs are right in the middle of the stack here on the 10-minute.
So this could easily spring load back up into 736.
The vol spread and the VIX both broke and started going down, but still looks like we could have some range bound trading today, for most of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Very sideways and choppy. That's what's great is, if you're practicing, is once again, here it is, it's 34 minutes into the open, you can be done 10 minutes ago. You come in, trade, you're done for the day,
So you got a hammer forming right here. And, if you're on a 5, you're going to start seeing this move upward. You see the volume chart. So if we get into the 734.80, grab them there upward, this could really run. We got the Qs firing off. So this could be an upward channel move here, So I'm going to take some calls right here, upward.
Yep.
Why not, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go a little bigger size.
$731 stop.
Yeah, 731 stop. It's not capitulating over here on the volume chart. 731 stop. So if we can break the 734.80, we're golden.
what's great once again is in taking this trade is you're using the bank's money because you've already made money today.
Exactly. So this just gets to take a few minutes before it launches. But if it doesn't, then I'll just get out at 7:31, you know? You kind of see this volume chart like it wants to take off, you know? It's got possibilities. And we're right at that support that we were showing you on the 15. Here we go. So once we break the 734.80, it's golden. It's a good trade.
You got NVIDIA popping here. Looks like it's going to help you.
Yeah, so we got a few stocks going up. Qs are trying to fire off up.
Yeah, and for you guys that are tuning in first time, this is the slowest time of the year, mid-July. This is the absolute slowest time. Most of the time the market's moving faster. So a lot of times, you know, our trades, we're in the trades a lot less time. So you're not sitting here in the trade. NVIDIA, Amazon, I think are pop here, help carry Tesla. Above the stack on the 10 now on the Qs. Should get a pop through 735. There you go.
There she goes.
So what's cool about this, about having a mentor and having somebody trading, is he's talking through and telling you why he's in the trade, what he's looking at, giving you the probabilities and the chances of success of the trade. And so it's constant, you're constantly learning, but you're also able to have plenty of time to execute the
So
trade yourself.
there's 1,500 right there already on this trade. Okay. So I'm not going to lose more than 700. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but this is 1,200. This is 1,800. This is 2,500. So this thing's cooking. Okay.
Yeah, I got that with you. Nice.
This 2,000. So you see how I was getting in and setting my stop. This thing's rocking. Yeah, this is sick. This is sick money right here, guys. 2,800, 3,000. I'd slide this over, but you get it, right? You get it. I don't have to show you when the green candles are going up, you know, right? So I'm taking my money. There's $3,000 right there. So I can kind of show you how I did these trades. And you kind of get an idea. Once this thing repopulates, I'll show you my screen. Just give me a minute here, sorry. But you see, here's the order. Here's the money. So you got this nice movement upward. Here's the 6,000 I made today. So very simple trade into a nice resistance. You see how I sold right in this area, but I'll explain all this when we got a little more time. But I just want to show you real money. So that's $6,000 today, and that's being super conservative. And you see that was 5 contracts at the bottom, and I bought 7, and I said I'd be a little more aggressive, so I went from 5 to 10, using a trade to about 7. So you see I'm already out of the trade. You see how this went to the Fibonacci, almost the 50, and the Fibonacci is basically, we can use these kind of deals like from here to here. You see how this went almost to the 50, all right, close to it. So it came almost to the moving average, and a moving average pullback to a downward move. So I was just capturing the meat of that trade, okay? So I've seen these happen before, and I want to take the maximum profit. So that's pretty cool. But it gave you plenty of ends right here. You know, it's pretty cool, huh?
Hey, Daryl, we got another question. Like, what kind of size of account do you need to trade options?
Okay, so I would say about 28,000 was a good start, because anything below 25, the trade station and the government, and the FCC wants you to have, they call it a pattern trader. Not necessarily going to use all that, just to close them out. So I'd say 28,000. This account started at 28 3 days ago. It's at 65 right now. So I like to trim them down to about 28, 30. So yeah, about 28. You can easily trade Tesla and just use a small portion of your account with 3 or 4 or 5 contracts. Now, today they're a little more expensive because of the premium, but usually they're like $16 on Wednesday. Now, you could trade NVIDIA, and those options, what's nice about that is, let's say you were trading NVIDIA, and you can kind of get an idea, just the price action with NVIDIA. And so let's say we were trading NVIDIA. Instead of you taking the Tesla, you took NVIDIA. So look at this power here. You got the chart sitting right here. Here's the star upward. So 171 to 173. You could have taken this for $7 instead of paying 20, for Tesla, and you could have made yourself $2. Well, what's the risk? The risk is one contract, $7, $700. So let's say you took 5. So what is that, 35? Am I doing my math right? A little more, 34, 30. So let's say 7 times 5 is your risk. Well, you already doubled the, you just made $2. So that's pretty cool. $2 times how many contracts you have at $7. You're controlling a stock that's a $173 stock for $7. So 700 is giving you a position of 100 shares of a power. And your loss could be maybe right down in here, but you see all this nice capitulation of. So I just want to give you an example of a smaller stock that you could get. Okay. So now we're still dancing up here, and that's fine. I mean, you could maybe sell half and let the rest run if you wanted to. But I'm pretty stoked with $6 grand, and I'm probably a little more conservative because I'm live with you guys, and maybe I'd put a little more size on. When you're in a webinar, it's really okay to be conservative and just make the money and be done. If you're not happy with $6,000, please drop it off. Just drive by, I'll come right outside and get it. What do you think, Bo?
Yeah, we can go do lunch anywhere on $6 grand.
Yeah. So this looks like we want to move back up. And you see how we grab the cues at the bottom, and this seems like we're moving back up. So Tesla is moving upward. We could easily see into this channel, upward channel, or into a double top now. Volume's starting to decrease. So these aren't when I want to trade. I'm pretty much done. I don't like trading more than this right here. This is probably it for me. What's the point, right? So that's really all I have for today. And I really appreciate you guys being here. If you have any questions, be glad to extend you in a 7-day trial if you want to come in here, or just talk to one of our traders or someone, whatever you want. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, and come check us out on Limitless Volume, and that's where you can make a free account with us and just get connected and see what's going on. So
yeah, take your time with this. There's no rush. This happens every single day. And if we can do it in July, like Bo was saying, and the volume, you remember a third of your people, the big money people, are already in Hamptons or in Europe. This is when everybody travels to Europe. When would you want to go to Europe? You sure want to go in the wintertime. So there's less people trading. So if you can make money in July, you sure the hell are going to make money in October and June. I mean, not June, but from January to May, unbelievable trading. From October to December, get a lot of price movement. And I'm just super conservative in July, like I was today. It's not unheard of for me to make $20,000 a day. It really isn't. So I average between 12,000 and 20 a day, and I do that live. So that's all I got. And man, thanks a lot for being here.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, Daryl. I had great trades today.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
Cheryl.
pretty amazing.
All right, see you later, everyone.